So how does it feel to heal? So when we are on the mind level, overthinking with ruminating pattern, then healing would feel like, first would look like focusing our attention on the body where the sensations are showing up by overthinking, right? We pull our attention on the body wherever we feel the sensations expressing themselves through our body. While we are focusing our attention there and being present in our body, healing then feels like the mind quietening down without it being the goal or the end goal or the it's just the outcome, not the end goal. And also so while we are our intention is to focus on the body, the outcome is our mind starts to relax, starts to quieten down the more we are focusing our attention on the sensations of our body. And this is the first step of healing so that we can actually drop from the mind level to the body level. Because overthinking is a stress response and it is really stressful for the body. Then when we are doing emotional processing and we are experiencing a very negative emotion, which is intense, or it can be subtle, how does that look like and how does that feel like? Well, we might be experiencing anxiety or intense fear, as anxiety is a little fear, right? Is less intense fear. And so while we are feeling this emotion, what we want to do is, again, focus our attention on where it is being expressed on the body as sensations, and while also calling in our presence by being present. So there's one part of us that is feeling the emotion and the other one that is being present within this moment that we are feeling. So one is presence, which is a masculine energy, and the other one is beingness, the feeling, which is the feminine energy. And so one is the feeler and the other one is the observer, right? While doing both, feeling and being present, we could actually go to the root of whatever it is that is, needing to be seen, felt, heard, embraced, loved, and healed. So it's the same like on the thinking level that we were talking about before. We bring our focus on the body. But depending on where we are in our healing journey, one may be easier than the other. See, we don't want to be forcing anything on the healing journey. We want to be able to do what is comfortable for us. So for the first, when we are on the mind level, we bring our focus on the sensations while wanting to be present with these sensations. When we are experiencing an emotion that is, feeling uncomfortable, then what we are wanting is to go more and more into embracing and accepting and wanting to get to feel this emotion that's showing up. And then there might be sensations on the body that can be uncomfortable feelings, right? On the body. And what we do there is, again, where the negative sensation is expressed, it might be, like a tingling sensation or a tightening or like something that is more intense. What we do is we focus our attention there by wanting to more and more feel, right? So one part of us is feeling, the other one's being present with whatever we are feeling. And while feeling and being present is the way to go deeper into our subconscious and to heal on an even deeper level. If on our healing journey we're getting a bit overwhelmed, what we can do is we can actually pause the depth, right? By just, even negotiating with ourselves to come back on in a different time, later, another day. But the way we can actually go deeper into our healing is to actually want to feel through whatever is wanting to be seen in the moment. And until we go actually to the end of this process, when we go to the end, what do I mean by the end? The more we are allowing to drop into the feeling, drop into the emotion of what is happening in the moment that there's a trigger that's showing up, the more we are being present and feeling, this gets us deeper and deeper and deeper layers of healing. So it's like the onion peel, like we're going deeper and deeper and deeper. And at some point, we will feel immense release, equanimity perhaps, serenity, deep relaxation. And it's the moment when we have allowed the whole process of acceptance and healing for whatever was showing up. At the beginning of our healing journey, this is not always the case. It's not something that we're always able to get through. It needs practice. But the more we are more interested through our triggers to get to love ourselves instead of using it as an excuse to avoid, suppress, repress, project, and fight, flight, freeze to whatever is happening. The more we are wanting to get to know ourselves through the trigger, through the challenge, the easier it becomes, and therefore we are able to get into the depth of whatever needs to be seen and loved a lot faster. So it's all about the speed, the rhythm and the speed in the healing journey, in the healing process. There are moments now in my healing journey that I will find it challenging and will hold back into diving into this process right away. It takes some time. However, there are moments when there are triggers that the curiosity and the wanting to meet me is a lot faster than ever before. And the more through the trigger, through the pain, through the negative thought, emotion, feeling, I become more interested to get to know myself, the faster the integration process, the faster the healing process. So the mind, on the mind level, as we're going through the healing journey, it's actually working for us instead of against us. So there are moments, a lot more moments than less, that my mind is actually saying, this is an opportunity to grow, let's go. This is an opportunity to grow, let's go. Whereas in the past, especially when I was stuck in freeze mode for many years, for a long time, I was not able to actually process any emotion and feeling because I was disconnected. So it needed a lot of time to first of all, the healing that I had to go through then was different than the one now. Because back then I had disconnected with my emotional body and my physical body on the feelings, on the sensation level. So therefore I needed to slowly, because it came from trauma, slowly articulate, right? It's called emotional literacy. Yeah, Greg Grannon, what's his name? This therapist calls it emotional literacy. Yes, so in order for me to express whatever it is that I was feeling, it needed to take time. And I had a good friend of mine who was an amazing doula and healer that helped me go through this process. So in the freeze mode, the healing process happens again from the overthinking, because overthinking and being in the mind is a trauma response, or should I say reaction. What helps is to drop from the mind level into the body and actually express the emotion we are feeling, the sensations we are feeling in the moment, and practice emotional literacy. So coming out of freeze was, again, with layers. And of course, back then, the mind would react to any trigger or any negative emotion and feeling as danger. So it would label it, filter it with those filters. Whereas now, the mind is actually an assistant more and more to the healing process. So you will see within your healing journey that your mind will be your worst enemy at the beginning, but as you're working consistently and you're committed and devoted to loving you, to actually being loved, because this is who we are, you will see that your mind will actually start helping you. And when I mean the mind, I mean the conscious mind, the monkey mind that we call it, right? The one that's all over the place, will start becoming a servant of this process, which is extraordinary. And yeah, so first level is not even being connected with our emotions and feelings, not knowing that, we have so much disconnection within ourselves. We might even think we are fine. That's the first level of unawareness. And then the more we go into the healing journey, there's, maybe a dark night of the soul where we are actually seeing all this unprocessed, muck coming up. And, it's very, very challenging and can be very scary at times. But also don't forget that this process is what is molding us and shifting us into the, shifting the courage that we are growing through. So we are growing courage through this process, and we are becoming the versions of ourselves. So the subconscious, by triggering us, by bringing out unhealed wounds, fears, insecurities, it's helping us through this healing process to become the version our soul is wanting for us to experience on this planet. So the healing process is the precursor of, our fulfilled life. It's actually our guide towards our fulfilled life. And it's maybe, instead of healing process, we could call it the molding process, the preparation process. So for whatever it is we've asked for on a soul level and want, we are becoming it through the healing process. And with that, I hope that this video was helpful and insightful. Please do get back to me with questions or suggestions or wishes or wants for more content.